Hello everyone, today we are solving LeetCode problem number 1913, maximum product difference between two pairs. Okay, so if we consider any pairs, so 5, 6 or 7, 2, 7, what is the product difference? 5 into 6 subtracted by like 2 into 7. So this is the product difference of any two pairs. And in this problem we are given array nums and we have to choose any four indices such that the product difference between two pairs is maximized. Okay, let's try to understand from an example. So we are given an integer array. Constraint given to us is that the array length is greater than equal to 4, less than equal to times power 4, and all the elements are positive, and it has been asked in Apple last year. So from this array we have to choose two pairs such that the product of these two numbers subtracted by product of these two numbers is maximized. So if we consider 6 and 7 here, 6 and 7, and if we consider 2 and 4, so I think the product difference will be maximum. 6 7s are 42, subtract 4 2s are 8, which is 34. So this is the maximum product difference of any two pair. So for that what I did is, for to capture the maximum value, I took the maximum two elements, and to capture the minimum value of any product of a pair, I chose the minimum. So it is clear to us that we want biggest, then second biggest, subtract smallest, second smallest, like this. So for that, the first approach is like sorting. And once the array is sorted, we can just direct return n minus 1 index into n minus 2 index minus 0 index 1 index. First two element will be the smallest, last two element will be the two largest element. So this we can directly return. So what is the time and space complexity in this case? So here time complexity is going to be O of n log n, because we are sorting the array, and the space complexity will depend on the sorting logic, whatever logic we are using. So it is n log n time, but we can see here we only need the biggest and second biggest, smallest and the second smallest element. So I think that we can capture while iterating through this array. What we can do is we can just initialize four variables: smallest, second smallest, biggest, second biggest, and we can iterate over this array. In the first iteration, before the first iteration, let's keep them smallest as plus infinity, second smallest as plus infinity, biggest as minus infinity, second biggest as minus infinity. So after the first iteration, we have 5 at the current index. So we'll capture with the smallest element first. If it is smaller than the smallest element, we will update the second smallest to smallest, and smallest with this number. So smallest will become 5, second smallest will remain infinity, which is infinity in the smallest one. For the biggest element, if 5 is bigger than the biggest one, yeah, we will just shift the biggest one to the second biggest and update the biggest. So biggest is 5 now, and second biggest is minus infinity. Okay, so in the second index we have 6. If 6 is smaller than the 5, no. If 6 is smaller than the second smallest, so smallest will remain 5, second smallest will be updated to 6, and biggest will be updated to 6, and second biggest will be updated to 5. Now let's capture for 2. For 2, the smallest value is less than this 2 is less than the smallest value. It means we will update the smallest value and second smallest. Second smallest will become 5 because smallest was 5, and smallest will be updated to 2. Okay, for the biggest and second biggest, they won't be updated. Biggest is 6, second biggest is 5. Now we are at 7. Smallest and second smallest will remain same, 2 and 5. And biggest and second biggest will be updated. Biggest value will go to second biggest and biggest will be updated to 7. 7 and 6. Now we are at 4. For 4, smallest will remain 2 and second smallest is greater than 4. So second smallest will be updated to 4. Now for the biggest and second biggest, they will remain same, 7 and 6. So we are done with all the elements in nums. So we have captured these 4 variables. This is our bigger pair, this is smaller pair. So 7 into 6 subtract 2 into 4. 42 minus 8 equal to 34, which is our answer. So in this case, we only did one iteration over this nums array. So time complexity is O of n. And what is the space complexity? Constant space. We are not using any extra space. So these are the two good approaches, but this one is the most efficient. So we are going to code this. Here we need 4 variables: biggest, second biggest, smallest, and second smallest. Top 2 biggest element will be updated with minus infinity. Integer dot min value. Second biggest will also be updated to min value, biggest with the maximum value. Now we will iterate over this array num nums. Okay, we will see if our current number is greater than the biggest one. Now the second biggest will be updated to biggest and biggest will be updated to num. Else if it's not greater than the biggest but it is greater than the second biggest, in that case second biggest will be updated to num. Now if our number is smaller than the smallest element, second smallest will be updated to smallest and smallest will be updated to num. Else if num is not smaller than smallest but num is smaller than second smallest, in that case second smallest will be updated to num. So after this iteration, these 4 variable will having biggest, second biggest and smallest, second smallest value. So now we can directly return our answer, biggest into second biggest. This is our maximum pair. Smallest into second smallest. This is our minimum pair. And we can submit. Instead of semicolon, we will get comma here. Sample test cases are passed. Submitted successfully. Hope you understood the problem. Thank you guys.